He was the second highest rated nickel corner in the league, and then Green Bay brought him in and put him outside. And I think he realized he lost a step, so they went ahead and Pettin's playing him at nickel corner this year. I like it because he's kind of that floating DB. They have the other DBs in the back to be able to use him to play him up front to maybe jump around.
Playing devil's advocate here, Ryan, with the recent Kevin King thing here, and then them just let go of Jason Spriggs.
This came up.
This did pop in my head now, and I'd already done these last Friday before I took vacation, so I didn't change it. But I know I just said the Williams, but with all the recent King could be just straight up done. Just done. They could just, I mean, with the way Spriggs is, Spriggs and King almost have the identical way their careers in Green Bay have been. Except for King is frustrating because he actually plays well, but he's only played 15 to 32 games, and I don't even know if he's finished all 15 of those games when he's even played in them. So it's like, I don't know. He to me could be a guy that would really be a surprise trade or cut or injury settlement. He's just not staying healthy, and it's the same thing over and over and over again. And I think with this new regime, I think it's get on board, or even if you are on board but your body don't want to let you, I think they're just ready to move on and move forward with players. I think that's what happened with Spriggs today.
I don't think Kevin King's there yet. Not to Spriggs' level. I think his talent is much more apparent when he does play, when he is healthy, than Spriggs ever was. So I don't think they're ready to give up just yet. And it sounds like that injury isn't that serious, that it's more precautionary. But I mean, you're right. If it continues to go, the trajectory that it's been so far in the NFL, I mean, it very well could play out that way. But for now, I don't see that happening with him. I think he is a top 4 corner on this team when he's healthy. I don't think he's as good as people have made him out to be. I think that when he is playing and he is healthy, he's good. I don't think he's great, at least not from what I've seen. He's made his plays, his splash, plays here and there, but
just consistency's not there.
The consistency's not there, but that's also because he's not available. You're right. That is part of it. You have to be available.
Well, even with injury aside, when he's on the field, that consistency, he'll give up a 25-yard pass, and then he'll go have a couple pass breakups, and then he'll have a 15-yard pass given up. That's what I'm talking about. He's very, I don't know. And plus, I'm with Jay because we talked about this last night, and Tony Brown had himself 2 hell of a joint practices with the Texans. That guy, with today and yesterday, had 5 pass breakups on DeAndre Hopkins. Do you know how hard that is to even get one as even like a stud corner on DeAndre Hopkins? Tony Brown and Kadar Hollman, if they continue to show out in preseason, it just, to me, and I'm not saying King is expendable, but it makes him more expendable because we have that depth. And especially with Ento even showing out. Like, Gutekunst is finding these guys either unrestricted or late in the draft, and they're showing up.
Well, I don't think it helps King's case either that Jair Alexander is just a bona fide stud. I mean, and I think that because really, if you're a GM and you're trying to revamp a defense, if you've got really one, and we've talked about this with a lot of different people, Dave, you've got one solid player pretty much at every position, you are much more willing and comfortable to try to kind of shuffle the rest of the pieces around it until you find those perfect fits, even if it means kind of swallowing your pride on guys that were high second-round picks because of the health. Look, it does.
It was basically a first, though. That's the thing.
Well,
we traded down to get him.
It does you no good to have that guy taking up a roster spot and never being able to play. And at some point,
I agree fully.
At some point, you just fold your hands and just say, "Look, I hate to do this, but I believe it's the best thing." And you might get burned, but if you don't, we're almost in the exact same scenario, guys, as we were with dang it. He went to the Chargers.
Casey Hayward.
Hayward. Exact same thing. And the minute Hayward leaves, what ends up happening? He doesn't get injured for 2 years.
Comes in a stud corner.
And I mean, so that
Demarius Randall will be going to become stud safety for Cleveland.
He's not a stud. He had an okay year.
Well, I'm sorry, from what Ted Thompson and Mike McCarthy tried to make him do, I'm not trying to say he's this all-pro safety, but he was a stud at his position compared to what McCarthy was trying to make him do. It just wasn't working, and Demarius Randall completely came out and said that, and I think that's how McCarthy lost players in the locker room, when you tried to force them to do stuff that obviously they weren't good at. And we saw that the year prior. It just I didn't know why they wouldn't even try him at safety before. And I think Randall.
Thing, though.
McCarthy had the head thing, and who was it? Randall came out and even said McCarthy's the one who wouldn't let him switch positions. It wasn't Capers. It was McCarthy.
Ryan, Dave and I have come to the conclusion that, honestly, we didn't see Mike Pettine's defense last year. We saw
McCarthy had a handcuff on it.
We saw a Mike McCarthy's version of Mike Pettine's defense, because what we did is we went back and kind of watched previous. Dude, he is a Rex Ryan protege to the T. His favorite thing about defense is taking one guy, Kenny Clark, sticking him there, and everything else around him is interchangeable. Stunts, twists, this guy's left, this guy's lined up in the middle, but he's got those he knows his middle linebacker he can count on. He's got Martinez. He knows he's got a stellar guy that can play both run and pass to hold the point and really eat up blockers and still push the pocket, Kenny Clark. He's got one guy as an edge rusher that can both drop into coverage and rush the passer from that point and doesn't have to move around a lot. That's Preston Smith. Everybody else there on that defense can put their hand in the dirt, play left, right, is very amoebic. Same thing with the DBs. That is not Mike McCarthy's way. He's very rigid, and when he decided this is what a player could do and what he wanted to do, that's what he did. And Pettine is much more flexible and willing to say, okay, I've tried this for 2 weeks. It's not working. I'm not done with that player, but let me put him in this position and see how he does. You didn't see that last year. Go watch it. You had the same guys lining up, rushing from the edge. You had the same stupid stunts and twists from the same places, and guys just kind of had their position, and even the backups. Lowry came in, he played left end. You know what I mean? Like, it was just very uniform by personnel and the way they were situated. It wasn't a true Pettine defense.
I am so excited about this defense this year. There's just the talent on the roster is just so much better. They're so much more athletic. They're so much more versatile. I mean, you've got multiple DBs that all run sub 4.40s. I mean, it is a complete breath of fresh air compared to past rosters. I'm so excited about this defense.
Zadarius Smith looks like the real deal, too. This guy is blowing up. He was blowing up freaking Matt Khalil and Max Sharping today like every other play. And actually, Matt Khalil tried to start a fight with Zadarius Smith because how bad he was burning him up today. Zadarius was dipping his shoulder so low, Khalil couldn't even stop him, and he would have had 3 or 4 sacks on Watson and actually ran into him accidentally because Khalil accidentally shoved him into Watson trying to turn him, and he would have got him. It's just Zadarius, everyone keeps saying, the Ravens outside linebackers, once they leave, they do nothing. Something is telling me different about Zadarius Smith than like Pernell McPhee or Laurenti McCray that came out, or Paul Kruger. I really think that Zadarius Smith is just a different breed of athlete. And I think he's going to tear it up with Gary this year, because that's what they've been running in training camp, is those two doing the stunt blitzes with each other the whole way. And all they have to do, that's the thing. Once you get a stunt blitz and you figure out which tackle or guard is going to have a problem with a certain player, Pettine is just going to eat at that the whole game.
And Rashawn Gary does in live games what he's been doing in practice every single day.
He isn't getting triple teamed like he was in Michigan or double teamed. He's finally getting one-on-one chances, Ryan. That's the thing. He's getting properly used. Jay and I talk about this all the time. In Michigan, he still did work. It just wasn't as flashy because he literally held the point of edge against a center, a freaking guard, and a tackle. And while he let Taco Charlton, the defensive tackle that went to Oakland, Chase Winovich, and then the linebacker, Devin Bush. Everybody else made plays. They were able to get to the running back or the QB because Gary was able to eat up 2 or 3 blockers. That's how powerful and strong he was. The coaches across the field knew that, so they had to sacrifice their blockers to Gary. This year, he was going to get one-on-one, and it's going to show why this dude was taken 12th overall, and it's going to be perfection because we haven't seen outside linebacker rushing like that in years.
Yeah, since Clay's first 2 seasons, basically.
Clay, and also Peppers, too, when he came in. Peppers, when he first got here, oh, my God, that was a breath of fresh air. A 6'7" dude that's 290 that can run a 4.5, get out of here, man. First ballot Hall of Famer.
Okay, so Ryan, are you going to stick around? Are you going to stick around and hang out and argue with Dave as he does the Bears 53 projection? Because he's put this together while I was on vacation, so I don't have a whole hell of a lot of input other than to probably piss off Bears fans by trolling them occasionally. I haven't done enough homework for this.
Okay.
But you're welcome to stay if you want.
What's that?
Whatever. He said you're welcome to stay if you want.
Oh, yeah. We wrapping up?
So, let's see. I mean, how much do you know about the Bears roster?
I'll be honest, not much right now. I have not been watching.
Well, I'll give the overview. I've been watching Bears, Vikings. I've been watching enemy territory, and it's not like much has changed on the Bears' offense from last year. There's a couple things here and there, but it's not any major changes. You still got Mitch, who's starting QB, and then you got Chase Daniel and Tyler Braze, your backups. That's probably going to happen. And they're going to keep 3 just in case because Mitch was hurt last year, and he actually had to sit out, I believe it was 2 or 3 games. Then the running backs come in. You've got the rookie they traded up for, David Montgomery. He's been tearing it up in camp, man. He ran over Hicks and Goldman. He truck sticked them and almost ran through Raquan Smith. The guy looks like he is a good fit for the offense, but then again, he's also a rookie. So is he going to do the same thing in live games as he's doing in camp, like we're thinking of with Gary? They also have Tariq Cohen, who's going to be their little Z-back, their little weapon X. Then you also have, which I actually kind of like the signing for the Bears, is Cordell Patterson. Patriots used him as a running back last year and mostly as a power back. And like goal lines as like a fresher back, so that way you're not using your main power back like the Patriots were using Sonny Michel. They would bring in Patterson, let him get the touchdowns after Michel just got 100 or like 95 yards on the ground in one drive to help trying to keep him fresh as well. So they did pick up Mike Davis from Seattle, but he's been injury prone. He hasn't really shown a lot in camp compared to either Patterson, Montgomery, or Cohen. I think they keep 3 running backs. Well, actually, no, I think they should keep 4 because they have a fullback / H-back that they would keep in Ryan Nall. He's a big guy as a fullback, too. I think he's 6'1" or 6'2" as a fullback. Big old dude, and if you need him to plow through anything, man, he's the guy. You knowing any names I'm sprouting off?
I mean, I know most of the names, but as far as me actually having an opinion one way or the other of how they're doing, that I can't tell you because I'm trying to keep up with all the stuff that's going on at Packers training camp.
I'm all over the place, man. Ask Jay. I'm retweeting stuff all day long.
Dude, with everything I got to go on in my life, he's over here tweeting. He's like, did you see this? Did you see this? And I'm like, Dave, I can't even see my hand in front of my face right now, man. Like, I'm much more... I'm much more into the geekiness of football post-October when things start to get cold around here in the UP. I have much more free time then.
No, I'm a